Take a look behind the scenes of Bugsy, coming soon to Request.
He was made for Hollywood, and Hollywood was made for him. The movie crowd adored him, but J. Edgar Hoover called him the most dangerous man in America. Warren Beatty and Annette Bening star in Barry Levinson's Bugsy, the story of the legendary Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, the obsessive dreamer who had a love affair with Hollywood.
I think that his relationship to Hollywood was the thing that interested me. He thought he could use glamour to cover up what he really was. I think secretly he'd rather have been a movie star than anything else.
How would someone go about getting a screen test done?
Movie stars borrowed from the gangsters, and then the gangsters borrowed from the movie stars, until it all becomes hard to know who stole from whom.
Filmmakers who were very impressed by the gangsters. They dressed like them, they talked like them. It was all part of a romantic swirl of American drama.
So there was a sense of excitement that they were around this dangerous figure. He sort of let their imaginations run amok, used their enthusiasm and their intrigue with him to advance himself socially, which he loved.
This is my husband, the Count de Frasso.
Boy, I'm surrounded by titles. How can I pick one up?
Bugsy was addicted to fame.
He fed his addiction through his boyhood friend, a man who knew how both sides lived, movie star George Raft.
Thanks. Gee, you're looking great, like $1 million of real money.
Looking pretty good yourself, Georgie boy. Very dapper, very dapper.
Well, that's what they pay me for.
George and Ben Siegel grew up together as adults. They kind of live in different worlds, and one guy wants to peek over the fence to see what his buddy's doing.
For Bugsy, Barry Levinson recreated the 1941 movie set of Manpower.
Very tight, and then when the makeup guy just doing makeup.
It was on the set of Manpower where Ben Siegel met his match, Virginia Hill.
You're just another good-looking, sweet-talking, charm-oozing fella with nothing to offer but some dialogue. Why don't you run outside and jerk yourself a soda?
He was so charming and handsome and powerful and rich, they would sort of melt in his arms, where she would tell him to go to hell. And he loved it.
Together, they were a combustibly dangerous combination.
You always talk this much before you do it?
I only talk this much before I'm gonna kill someone.
Bugsy loved the utterly uninhibited, freewheeling, almost transcendental nature of Virginia's eroticism and temperament. Virginia was a kind of female version of Bugsy. If she wanted something, she was going to get it.
I think he felt he had something in common with Virginia Hill, that she really knew him for what he was, and that if she loved him for what he was, he could trust her.
We both want whatever we want, whenever we want it, and we both want everything.
I think for him, it was a woman that he could never totally get a hold of, in a way. And a woman that was able to give it back to him for everything that he gave. He fed on that she was never going to take any crap from him. And I think that's what pulled him into that relationship. And I think she may have understood him a lot better than any other woman ever did.
The way you were staring at me, I thought you were going to ask me for something a little more exciting.
Like what?
Use your imagination.
I'm using it.
Let me know when you're finished.
His associates were concerned when Ben made Virginia more than his lover. She was his partner.
I believe he was blinded by love. Benny's always put women first. That's what makes him Benny. Only this time it's one woman that's got him instead of the whole damn female race.
Maya is rational, clear, rational thinker. And I think there is a stage where Maya realizes that Bugsy's no longer rational.
No, I'm talking about a hotel. I'm talking about a place where gambling is allowed.
What are we, Bedouins?
Ben Siegel had a vision in the desert. A hotel, the Flamingo, his Versailles. It was the birth of Las Vegas, and it became his justification for life on Earth.
He probably had very little capacity to postpone gratification on any subject. Well, he certainly couldn't postpone gratification of what he wanted to see in the Flamingo.
I tell you, it's breathtaking. It's vast. It's intimate.
I tell you, with all the overages I'm picking up, we're looking at a budget that's right up near... Virginia, what is it?
$4.5 million.
No problem.
Would you stop with the no problems? Think for a second. What are you going to do to get the money?
My shares.
What about them?
I own a third of the hotel. I'll sell it.
That's all you've got, Ben. You'll end up with nothing. After all this, nothing.
But the Flamingo will be there. That's not nothing.
You can't help but make this drive and see this Flamingo the way that it was, with nothing around it, 10 miles from the nearest building, and say, this is total madness.
I don't think he really cared about money or profits or any of that. I think it was a man possessed by a wild vision. I mean, look, he created Las Vegas.
A hotel in the middle of the Mojave Desert, 500 miles away from the nearest toilet bowl.
Truth is, he's not even interested in money for himself off this deal. He's interested in the idea.
What idea?
Building something, making something. Then he's a dreamer.
Warren Beatty, Annette Bening, Harvey Keitel, Ben Kingsley, Joe Mantegna, Bebe Neuwirth, Elliot Gould, Wendy Phillips, Bill Graham, Stephanie Mason, and Kimberly McCullough star in a story of a man who became known by the name he hated most, Bugsy.